This video pairs really nicely with my tripod head video, so maybe after you've watched this one, check that out. But much like that video, I'm going to be doing a lot of focus on the pros and cons of all the different Manfrotto tripod legs I've owned over the years. This video is not sponsored by Manfrotto, nor have they ever given me any discount on any of these. First up, we have the lightest of the bunch. I actually purchased this to use like a hiking selfie stick, but to still hopefully be able to set up like a tripod when needed. It is cheap and crazy light, but the legs don't have much of an angle adjustment to them. It doesn't go very high when trying to shoot over crowds. To go low, it requires you to flip the center column, which is a nice idea, but I found I'd much rather just sit my camera on an item of clothing on the ground if I ever needed to get really low. Plus, not that it's been an issue with these legs as they haven't had much use, but there is no way to adjust for leg tension. Every tripod I've ever owned has started to slip, and without a way to compensate for this, I now know that with enough use, these legs would eventually fail me. Stepping up a level, you can see I've used this one quite a bit, and I've had it for a long time. The legs bend to any angle with nice solid steps to common angles, which is awesome. Plus I have gained the ability to tighten the leg tension, which is maybe why I've had it so long, because as soon as things start to slip a little, I can tighten the legs up. Plus this one was actually pretty easy to completely take apart after things ever got really gritty. However, you'll see I've lost a foot here and have added a little tape to the bottom of each leg, as I found smashing the legs and slowly pushed the feet off, and that little tape prevented that. While it's not carbon fibre, it's still light enough for hiking, but far too light for video work. It doesn't take too much camera movement for this to start tipping or risk falling. But this is the tripod I used to win Landscape Photographer of the Year 10 years ago. Here we have my oldest tripod, and I still keep it for two reasons. It's actually an okay weight. Sometimes I don't want the lightest tripod, as having a bit of weight helps counteract accidents and wind. Plus if I'm leaving it unattended somewhere, I'm not going to be too worried if it's damaged or stolen. The little keyring here is also nice if you want to attach extra weight to my tripod to keep it steady without having to carry extra weight with me. Something like a bag full of rocks attached here does wonders. But given 20 years, this is what has failed on it, mostly for excessive salt water usage and not cleaning it. I have removed a whole stage of legs. This used to be 3 stages and now it's only 2 because the leg clamps were destroyed. You can see these ones are pretty busted up from the salt water as well, but as I mentioned previously, being able to add tension to these has kept them going. I've completely replaced the feet on this, I can't even remember what they were, and one of the leg angle adjusters has completely corroded out. But for how much I have thrashed and abused these legs is, I guess, the reason I love Manfrotto gear. Going up to the heaviest of my legs, there are still some pros and cons, size, weight and price being the 3 major cons. It is big, it is heavy, and it is expensive. But the reason I got this is for when I need to set a camera up and have it stay there. This gets the job done. It also takes very solid fluid heads, which is great for video, and the leg spreaders are great for stopping a leg from sneaking off on you. But these 2 clamp 3-stage legs are a little slow to set up, and it's way too heavy for hiking. But for wedding with kids running around or filming sports in the wind near a crowd, this tripod does a great job of staying put. But finally, jumping up to my favourite legs, these are carbon fibre, so lightweight and great at reducing vibration. They are a single twist clamp for each leg, so really fast to set up and pack down. The leg angle adjusters are okay, you push through from the back. They work well, but I feel like I'm going to catch my finger in here one day. It goes to a pretty good height. I like it to go higher, but don't want it to be heavier, so that's the payoff you have to choose. But it is still reasonably pricey. I know price is subjective. But as time goes on and the more tripods you use, that view on what a good tripod costs will keep changing. But if I could give one bit of advice for buying a tripod, it's you'll do whatever you can afford for your first. But when it comes to your second and subsequent tripods, be prepared and feel encouraged to, by me, to not cheap out on a good set of legs.